You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Growing confusion on the zero-tolerance immigration policy and new details of a vote on a new bill for immigration next week on Capitol Hill.
And overnight, protests are not letting up still this morning after the shooting of an unarmed teen in Pittsburgh.
And the NFL plans to suspend Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback Jameis Winston for 3 games. Details on the alleged assault from 2016. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. 6 o'clock. Good morning. You've made it to Friday, June 22nd. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up and joining us on this day before the weekend. We have made it, people. Not a bad weekend. We got at least one good beach day, right, John Scalzi?
Absolutely right. Maybe even 2. Maybe even 2. We are going to look for a little bit of a wind reversal starting next week that could up the rain chances along the coastline, but maybe it won't come till Monday. We're looking at today, certainly, that west wind continuing, bringing us a chance at a coastal shower, though right now everything's pretty quiet along our coastlines. I think maybe in a couple of hours we might see the chances increase just a little bit, but only to about 30% for a scattered spot of drizzle or light passing shower, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. But the best rain chance on the Suncoast will be inland later today, and that rain chance at about 30% as well. We'll watch a mix of sun and clouds as we head into dawn this morning. We'll look for the temperatures to rise pretty quickly and the humidity to be very high. None of the inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast this morning. Everything looks pretty good out there. We'll talk about the forecast for the weekend coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you, John. Checking our live camera out there. Here's the scene at not too far from downtown Bradenton at Manatee Avenue West and 3rd Avenue West. As we pan across the street there, you see the road is closed, some construction going on. We'll update that situation throughout the morning right here on ABC 7. Let's go to the maps right now. We'll see some delay on State Road 70 eastbound as you head over Lockwood Ridge Road. Otherwise, not too bad in Manatee County. Checking farther south now on the roads in the northern half of Sarasota County. You might have seen that little icon on University as we crossed over there. There is an accident to be aware of at University and 75. Otherwise clear in the northern half of Sarasota County. And South County map will show nothing to speak of right now at 6:02.
Well, many here on the Suncoast are looking to speak out against the families of illegal immigrants being separated at the borders. Now, even though that policy changed this week, a protest is still being planned for later on tonight.
Our Marla Spence has a preview of today's rally. Marla?
Hey guys, yeah, even though the policy has changed, there's a protest and many protests that have been happening across the country in response to the immigration issue and families being separated. Here's a look at several protests that happened this week in several states, including Reno, California, Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. One group here on the Suncoast will be joining those group of protesters with their very own rally in Bradenton. Answer Suncoast Coalition is a group that is responsible for organizing that rally for today. One organizer tells us protesters today plan to rally against what they say is a cruel attack on refugee families seeking asylum at the border. Now, although President Trump did sign an executive order to end families being separated, today's protesters are still demanding that children and families be welcomed compassionately and kept together as they apply for asylum. Now, those protesters will gather at the intersection of Cortez Road West and 14th Street West near Books a Million in Bradenton, and protesters plan to be out in numbers starting at 6:30 tonight, and that rally is expected to wrap up at 8. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, overnight, demonstrators blocked a highway in Pittsburgh, demanding justice after police shot and killed 17-year-old Antoine Rose earlier this week as he ran from a traffic stop related to a different shooting. Now, police arrested one protester so far who they say refused to get off the road. The demonstrations that began yesterday started off as peaceful as people gathered to make their voices heard. Now, they blocked some of the main streets to ensure that news of Rose's death did not go unnoticed.
It's affecting us right here at home, and it's important for us to occupy our spaces and occupy and know that we are shutting it down if we don't get justice.
And of course, video actually shows what happened. We've got some video that we'll show you here in just a moment. These are the actual protests, but there's video that shows what happened that night at a traffic stop as 2 people get out of the car. They started to run and an officer opened fire at the time. Now, Rose didn't have a weapon on him when he was shot, and he later died at the hospital.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will start the season without their starting quarterback. The NFL plans to suspend Jameis Winston for the first 3 games of the year. The suspension comes from an alleged groping incident during an Uber ride back in 2016. Winston denies the allegations.
A pilot for a Saudi royal family has been arrested. He's accused of stealing thousands of dollars from a Northport man, a theft that happened more than 2 years ago. Now, this is the man who allegedly stole $9,000 from Stefan Rome. 49-year-old Marcin Urbanski was arrested on Tuesday in Maine after the plane in which he pilots had landed. Now, back in November of 2015, Urbanski had offered Rome a job as a pilot for an airline overseas. But he told him that he would have to wire money to a bank in Poland for administration fees. Now, turns out Urbanski had only worked with the airline for about 5 weeks, had no authority to offer a job to anyone.
That there was some movement in this case earlier this week, and happy to see that some of our work that we put in will hopefully find some justice for someone.
It's such a shame, and a neighbor of ours that was taken like that. I hate to see somebody taken for anything.
Urbanski so far has been charged with grand theft. It's not yet known if he's going to be extradited back here to Florida to face the charge.
In other aviation news, a new way to screen passengers at Orlando International Airport. As reporter Amanda Ober shows us now, a new security checkpoint involves facial recognition technology.
Orlando International Airport held an event Thursday to commemorate becoming the first airport in the country to use facial recognition technology to process all arriving and departing international travelers.
We're building a speedier process for the travelers.
By the end of the year, the screening system will require every passenger boarding an international flight or arriving on one stand for a photo that will be analyzed against on-file passport or visa photos. Once the photo is matched, departing passengers board their flight without having to show further paperwork. Arriving passengers will not have to submit to fingerprints unless it's their first visit to the U.S. The Greater Orlando Aviation Authority spent $4 million for the program and claims testing so far shows boarding time improved by 15 minutes. Passengers arriving Thursday said they like the changes.
It's great. I mean, it's good. I mean, I think it's definitely the way forward. It's a much slicker system, much smoother getting through.
A privacy expert West 2 News spoke with expressed concern that the program has no formal rules yet for handling the data. But federal officials say they're working on those rules, and they also refute that there are any privacy concerns.
You know your picture is being taken, you're standing in front of a camera, there's nothing subversive about this, and we're only comparing you against your passport photo. And that's the photo you've already given the government for travel.
TSA hopes the technology can eventually be used for domestic travel as well. Reports of an armed robbery at a Dollar General in Manatee County is under investigation this morning. The incident happened on 33rd Street East in Bradenton. The sheriff's office says the robber walked into the store, pointed a gun at the clerk, and demanded money from the safe. Deputies looking for a black male in his 20s wearing a black long-sleeve shirt, black hat, ski gloves, and carrying a gun. If you can help solve this one, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
Closed for the rest of the month. The Manatee Village Historical Park in Bradenton is undergoing some repairs and we're going to be closed. The museum, Stevens House, and all the artifacts inside are all being updated and cleaned. Some of the buildings there are being repainted. Should be open by the beginning of next month.
A SunPass update now. Users will not be charged late fees or penalties for the state's error during their recent system update. The current billing delay will not impact the customer's ability to travel on the system. SunPass customers will continue to be charged at tolls, and once the system has been fully tested, a timeline will be announced for the restart of fees for past due accounts. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Oh, here's a scary list for all of us parents. The most unsafe summer toys for your kids. We're going to have that for you when we come back. But first,
it's the second day of summer. There's a peek outside our studios. Oh, pretty sky. A little pastel sunrise underway, John Scalzi.
Yeah, that is a pretty sky, isn't it? Yeah, you can see the deep blue back behind those fair weather clouds. And they are fair weather right now. We may see a shower or two build along the coastline, but if you're thinking of walking the beaches tonight, I'll tell you from Lido Beach southward, we do have moderate amounts of red tide being reported in the air, causing some respiratory irritation, especially in Minnesota where there is an intense amount. Still, we'll call it mostly sunny and dry near the coastline this evening. So a beach walk, I'll go ahead and give it 4 out of 4 beach balls. Just be aware of that red tide problem. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming back in a minute.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror. You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
83 degrees already out there with a humidity coming in high. Dew point at 75, humidity 77%. That gives us a feels like temperature at this hour of the morning at 90. So it is a very warm, steamy start to the day, no doubt about it. We have an 84-degree temperature forecast by about 9 o'clock. I think that just about does it with a 20%. That's a chance of a shower near the coastline. We have this westerly wind flow, and that westerly wind will continue to kind of push those showers into inland areas so that by noon, we'll put the rain chance at about 30% as daytime heating starts to kick in, and we get a temperature of 89. We'll see a few more showers around. Then, as that sea breeze begins to be pushed inland by that westerly wind flow, temperatures climb to about 90 by 3 p.m., and most of the shower activity will be inland with about a 30% coverage, all pushed further and further from the coastline as the day progresses so that our chance of rain is minimal as we head into the 7 p.m. hour, and it should be a pretty nice evening. Radar right now scanning the area doesn't find much over land. There are a few scattered showers out in the Gulf, and they will gradually be drifting closer to the coastline, building along the coast as we head into the 9, 10, 11 o'clock hour. Most of the activity, I think, today will be occurring in inland areas, but right now drive time looks great. no issues really. Satellite view shows a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. We've got plenty of moisture in the atmosphere to work with, and all we need is a little bit of a kicker. And as I say, that kicker will come in the form of an easterly wind colliding with our west coast sea breeze and a general westerly flow across the state. The easterly wind caused by the east coast sea breeze, and the collision of those two winds probably occurring right along the spine of the state, and then the east coast wind being pushed back toward the east coast by our general westerly winds. So if you want a graphic representation, I think our Futurecast does a pretty good job of showing what to expect. As we head through the morning hours, the west wind picks up a few scattered showers and draws them in along the coastline. And then as we head into the afternoon, the showers build in inland areas. Then toward the evening, we push everything toward the other coast, and there's where the largest number of showers will occur as those two wind flows collide and we get the bigger storms created by the larger amount of uplift. A mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, but certainly not enough cloud cover to reduce the heating of the day, and it will still be extremely warm with feels-like temperatures up around 100. So again, caution is urged if you are working out of doors to be very careful. Take plenty of fluids and try to stay out of the sun as much as you can. We'll look at a big ridge of high pressure gradually lifting northward, but for the next couple of days, staying in a position to our south that ensures us that westerly wind flow. Showers move toward the Atlantic as they build on our coast and drift eastward. The westerly wind continues today, tomorrow, perhaps most of Sunday, but eventually Sunday, maybe Sunday night, we'll watch that high pressure ridge start to lift north. Our winds go a little bit light, and then eventually even turn to the southeast, bringing us better rain chances as showers are pushed back in the opposite direction, closer to our coastline as we head into Sunday perhaps, but certainly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week looks like we return to our typical summertime pattern. So the forecast for beach and boating today looks pretty good. We'll have a rather consistent westerly wind coming in at about 10 knots. Sailors particularly can pretty much count on that. And over the next several days, temperatures warm, near 90, with about a 30% chance of rain. We'll up the rain chance a little bit on Sunday as we may develop that wind out of the east, pushing showers back to the coast. Give it 50% chance. And certainly by the next work week, I think we'll be back in a typical kind of summertime pattern for this time of year, which will include those building showers inland, drifting back to the coast, and warm temperatures right straight through the remainder of the week. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Checking out your first alert traffic out there. Still seeing a lot of those delays right there on 301, heading towards and out of Bradenton. A lot of delays this Friday morning in that area in Manatee County. Then in Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad. We did have one accident earlier at University Parkway and 75, but so far it looks like that one is cleared up. Now it's actually looking pretty decent. Oh, nope, there it is right there. It's still going on. University Parkway and 75, they're still showing an accident right there, so that could cause you some delays this morning. Other than that, not too much going on there. 75, 41, both running pretty smooth if you're heading farther south in the area towards Port Charlotte in the next half hour or so. 617, that's your first alert traffic. Well, more than 2.5 million kids are injured every summer by unsafe toys. Now a consumer group has released the new list of dangerous toys for this summer. On that list, water balloon slingshots, lawn darts, backyard water slides, backyard trampolines. That's something that's on the list every year pretty much. Now this group says that supervision is also key in avoiding a bad accident.
We urge parents to be vigilant and proactive in creating a safe home environment and to review carefully every toy, every game, and every activity they choose to bring into their homes with an educated eye.
Now, we gave you just a little bit of the list. We actually have a full list of all the dangerous toys online at mysuncoast.com. Well, love to shop at home online? Well, you could soon be paying more for the convenience of shopping in Ray Collins' jammy pants. It all comes down to a new Supreme Court ruling on the amount of sales tax that you have to pay.
Yeah, this ruling could collectively cost online shoppers about $20 billion a year now. But as ABC's Candace Gibson tells us, brick and mortar stores hope this helps you bring them back to them.
Shopping online is not only more convenient for many people, it can also be less expensive. But that could soon change following Thursday's Supreme Court ruling.
I'm not happy, but again, I still shop, so not too much holds me back.
The ruling comes after a dispute between the state of South Dakota and several online retailers, including Overstock and Wayfair. South Dakota wanted to collect sales tax from these sites, even though the retailers did not have a physical presence in that state. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court justices sided with South Dakota, ruling states can force online retailers to collect the tax. Wayfair is based in Boston, where the governor calls the decision a win for brick-and-mortar businesses, which have been forced to charge sales tax, while their competitors online have not.
I would say this is a good day for states, and it's a good day for those in the retailing space who have been, for many years, disadvantaged.
Before the ruling, online shoppers were supposed to pay the sales tax to their state themselves, but most did not.
It wasn't that the tax wasn't due, it's a question of who remitted it to the state. Either the seller did it or the consumer did it. Let's be honest, if it was left to the consumer, it never got paid. It puts the onus back on the seller.
Large online retailers have already been collecting sales tax themselves, but even their shoppers could be affected by this ruling if they buy from third-party sellers on these sites.
Majority of these sales today through Amazon are actually these marketplace vendors. Those sellers have not been charging the sales tax.
Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
6:20, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
An urgent warning this morning for parents. As the temps get hotter, so do the insides of your cars. A warning about not letting your kids play in and around the car throughout the summer.
Here's a look outside at a pretty sky developing. Should see a high of 90 today. Hope to see you this evening at Friday Fest at Van Wezel.
I mean, good night. It's my very first one ever.
I know.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. Hope to see you out there at the Van Wezel between 5 and 8 tonight.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running, and right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Heavy mist and
fog came rolling in.
All right, the Florida Gators go on to the next round of the College World Series playoffs. Last night, they knocked out Texas Tech 9-6. They'll play Arkansas next tonight at 8 p.m. in Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, an urgent warning this morning about hot cars as the temperatures outside heat up for the summer. Police are reporting arrests in a few states now after kids have accidentally been locked inside cars.
ABC's Candace Gibson has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a happy ending to a dramatic rescue.
My car's missing, my baby's missing.
Okay, you left the vehicle how long ago?
About an hour.
Seminole County, Florida deputy Bill Dunn hugging the 3-year-old girl he rescued after nearly 12 hours in a hot car.
Went over to the driver's side, opened up the door, immediately hit with just a wave of hot, steamy air. So I took her out of the car seat, and she was just limp.
Police discovering the girl with no pulse sitting inside this car. Miraculously, the youngster making a full recovery.
With all the news that I got, I was like, it's unbelievable. It's a miracle.
While she survived, 16 children have died so far this year in hot cars, according to safety groups Kids and Cars. In 2017, there were 43 deaths. I will have tips for keeping your child safe coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Bottom line is, moms love that Land O'Frost premium sliced meats have no byproducts.
Baloney!
Join the call.
Hey, Baloney here.
I thought this was a no byproducts call.
Land O'Frost Premium, a slice above.
I'm a migraine sufferer and I'm an EMT. When I get a migraine at work, it's debilitating. If I call out with a migraine, that's one less ambulance to serve a community. I just don't want to let these people down.
Excedrin Migraine, relief that works as hard as you do. What if the vacuum head was reborn? Shark has added a rotating soft brush. So while deep cleaning carpets, you can also grab large particles, pull in piles, and directly engage floors. Duo Clean, invented by Shark.
Your digestive system has billions of bacteria, but life can throw them off balance. Realign yourself with Align Probiotic. And try new Align gummies with prebiotics and probiotics to help support digestive health.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Everybody can make something.
because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
The growing confusion on that zero-tolerance immigration policy, how to reunite kids and parents that had been separated, and a vote on a new immigration bill expected next week.
And a group of Suncoast High School students are competing in science and technology this summer. We'll have a look at the TSA National Conference in Atlanta.
And are your prescription medications getting too expensive? Well, we're going to show you some great ways to save a little money. Those stories plus your weekend beach forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning to you and welcome to this Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. June 22nd, more importantly, Friday.
Yes.
And John has a preview of your weekend forecast now.
Oh, we love us some Fridays, huh?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. We're looking at a few scattered showers now, trying to develop a little bit closer to the coastline. Still, they're just few and far between and very light stuff, so I don't think it'll be a big deal in terms of your morning commute. That should be pretty much a quiet morning commute. One lone shower, still located many miles offshore. It's not really a threat at the present time, but an indication that this westerly wind pattern will, over the course of the next several hours, perhaps pick up a few scattered showers closer to the coastline. Everything moves inland later in the afternoon, and the coast looks quiet this evening. Satellite view shows a few fair weather clouds across the region, yes, but we also have some holes in those clouds, which will help the sunlight bring us to a temperature that'll be a warm afternoon high of about 90. I say warm because it's not just the 90. It's also the humidity that you have to factor in that'll make it feel like it's closer to 100, and that'll be the case probably for most of the weekend as well. Our daytime high will be accompanied by a 30% chance of showers, first along the coast, then moving inland later in the afternoon. That complete weekend forecast in a sec.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Our live camera today is stationed in downtown Bradenton, not too far from the school district there, the school board building. This is Manatee Avenue West at 3rd Avenue West, where the road is closed due to an ongoing construction project. So be aware of that as you travel out there this morning around 64. That is Manatee Avenue West. Let's check the maps right now. It doesn't show any residual delays in that area due to that construction. Just some problems there more on 14th Street West, both in the north and southbound lanes. As we check farther south now in the viewing area, still you'll see an issue as we just crossed over University Parkway at I-75, an ongoing accident problem there. Also small delays on Bee Ridge westbound, Clark westbound. And then checking our final maps to the south, we'll find out some issues in both issues in both directions, he tried to say, on US 41 in the South County region.
Well, now to the latest on the Trump administration's immigration policy. The scramble is on now to figure out just how to reunite the 2,300 kids and their parents that had been separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the latest developments this morning from Washington.
Today, about 500 of the more than 2,300 children separated from their families at the U.S.-Mexico border are together again. But federal agencies are now scrambling to set up a plan for the remaining children. Mothers like Ibis Guzman, who is detained in Seattle, still has no answers about her 5-year-old son nearly 1,800 miles away in a San Antonio shelter. And it's still unclear whether migrant parents will even be prosecuted. A federal public defender's office in Texas says the U.S. Attorney's Office would be dismissing cases in which parents were charged with illegally entering or re-entering the United States. Not helping the matter, conflicting statements from top Trump administration officials. Last month, this was Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who said the Bible justified family separations.
If you are smuggling a child, then we will prosecute you. And that child may be separated from you as required by law.
But then, on the Christian Broadcasting Network,
and the American people don't like the idea that we're separating families.
We never really intended to do that.
On Capitol Hill, protests, children wrapped in Mylar blankets like the children in the detention centers that are set up across 17 states. Senators and other advocates joining in, saying the president needs to do more to reunite the families that have been separated. There was a vote scheduled on Thursday for the compromise immigration bill crafted by moderate and conservative Republicans. The bill addresses immigration issues like border wall funding and Dreamers. But that vote has now been delayed till next week. Republicans are still divided. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Well, even though President Trump reversed that separation policy, some protests are still going forward later tonight by one group.
Our Marla Spence has a preview of today's rally. Marla?
Hey guys, although the policy has changed, there's been several protests across the country this week in response to the immigration issue and families being separated who are seeking asylum at the border. Here's a look at rallies in several states that'll be similar to the one happening right here on the Suncoast. Answer Suncoast Coalition is the group responsible for organizing today's protests to keep families together. One organizer tells us protesters plan to rally against what they say is a cruel attack on refugee families seeking asylum at the border. Although President Trump did sign an executive order to end families being separated, today's protesters are still demanding that children and families be welcomed compassionately and kept together as they apply for asylum. Now, that protest will be happening at the intersection of Cortez Road West and 14th Street West near Books-A-Million in Bradenton, and protesters plan to be out in numbers starting at 6:30 tonight, and that rally is expected to wrap up at 8. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Marla. As the state begins talking about another diverging diamond, this time at I-75 and Fruitville Road, some opponents this time are emerging. The project would widen about 2 miles of I-75 to a 6-lane highway. From Palmer Boulevard to north of Fruitville Road, the diverging diamond would add 2 lanes to the existing 3 on Fruitville Road from Honoré Avenue to east of Coburn. Now, one group is not too happy. The Sarasota Initiative says this would ruin their plans to transform the surrounding land, which they've been working on for the past 10 years.
It increases the capacity through the interchange. It also significantly increases safety and efficiency through the interchange, as has been witnessed on the University Parkway diverging diamond, which was the first one in the state.
And that just defeats the whole purpose of dispersing traffic and walkability. You've created this transportation wall, basically, and you can't really disperse traffic and have a street grid when you have to put it all onto one street and go through one signal.
Opponents and supporters came out last night to an FDOT hearing at Selby Library. FDOT says they hope to have design plans in place next year for the $86 million project.
Well, even during the summer months, one group of high school students is still keeping that learning process fresh. Today, the Booker High School engineering team is heading to Atlanta. They're going to be competing at a national competition in events like animatronics, structural design, and transportation modeling. Now, the students, they choose a competition that they're interested in. They research it, then they have to build a model like this one together. The competition builds students' critical thinking and time management skills.
They can take it into college. Some of the certifications we offer allows them to exempt some college classes because they've already got the skill set necessary, that they can then come back here, come back home, and they're ready to go to work someplace and be overly productive.
Now, the students are also teaming up with a couple local companies and organizations like Moat Marine, Tervis, and Architects of the Downtown Quay project.
In consumer news, if you're looking for ways to save money on your prescription drugs, try buying the medication at retail. Consumer Reports found purchasing through discount drug programs from the big national chains can be less expensive than using your own health insurance. Some of the programs may offer hundreds of generics available for just a few dollars for a 30-day supply, or you may be able to get branded drugs for a discounted price.
Well, today is Take Your Dog to Work Day. So hold on a minute. Here's my dog right here. Wait for it. Well, my dog's right here in my phone. But those are some of the dogs that we've got here around the station. Pet Sitters International created this day. There she is right there. There's my dog, Rue. Way back in 1999, decided that far too many people were leaving their pets at home when they went to work. Ergo, Take Your Dog to Work Day. Now, as much as I would have loved to watch my dog drive Ray Collins crazy for 2 hours here in studio, had to leave her home today, but we would love to see photos of some of your four-legged family members at work with you today. So feel free to post those on our ABC7 Facebook pages or tweet them to us as well. We're going to share them on our pages too.
Nice honor for Lakewood Ranch. They received recognition in Ideal Living Magazine's Best of the Best issue. The area was named among the top 100 planned communities and best golf communities in the country. The development has been named the third best-selling master plan community across the country.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
SpaceX has just secured a major secret military contract. We'll tell you about it when we come back. But first,
it is a gorgeous day in Washington today. Already the sun has risen. Lots of activity going on in that building today as well.
Hot one out there in Washington, D.C. How about here, John?
Yep, not as hot as Washington, D.C., though, that's for sure. Rain, fog, wind, temps, all unchecked today because we're just not really going to have an issue with that. Even on the drive home, I don't think we'll have a big issue with that, as the showers are going to be east movers drifting away from our coastline. So near 80, warm and muggy as you head out the door this morning with feels like temperatures already near 90. And then near 90 degrees actual air temperature with feels like of about 100 on the drive home. Well, inland storms later in the day drifting toward the other coast. No airport delays being reported at any airport hubs serving Sarasota Bradenton International, according to the FAA. Forecast in a moment.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today.
Call 800-457-2317.
Go online or visit a Target store today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Dawn breaking on the Suncoast and the sun kind of peeking through the clouds that have been moving through the area. We have 83 degrees, up a degree or two since the last couple of hours, and a dew point value warm at 75. That warm dew point value combined with air temperature bringing 77% relative humidity, and a west wind already at this time of morning is established itself. And we'll see that west wind really continue throughout the day today, coming in at about 10 knots or so. Look at there. We have a heat index of 90. At this hour already. It's just amazing. In fact, even in the pre-dawn hours, it was up there. So as we head into the afternoon, you can be assured that the feels-like temperature will be pretty close to 100 degrees today. So take it easy, as over the last several days we've mentioned to you. You want to make sure that you take frequent rest breaks, get some shade time, and stay hydrated. We're looking at a temperature coming in at about 84 degrees by 9 a.m., 20% chance of rain showers at that time, along the coastline mostly, and those showers will be drifting inland as we progress through the day. But by 12 noon, we still have a 30% chance of popping up a coastal shower or two as the temperature gets pretty close to the 90 mark. We stay in the 90s for a number of hours this afternoon as the rain chances begin to drift into inland areas. 30% chance by about 3 p.m. as those showers continue to drift eastward and out of the area by the time we get into the evening hours. Titan radar right now showing one lone shower just off the coastline of Venice, and that lone shower probably going to dissipate before it makes it on shore, or at least by the time it makes it on shore, decrease in intensity significantly. So we're not really seeing much in the way of any problems with your commute this morning in terms of rain, but by 9, 10, 11 o'clock, I think we'll start to see a few scattered showers begin to build and drift inland. Satellite view shows a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. Again, lots of sunshine to heat things up this afternoon. And it is Bring Your Dog to Work Day, or Bring Your Pet to Work Day, I guess. And just a reminder that if you do intend to do that, that dog will be getting a lot of pavement time probably. And the pavement heats up in the afternoon with all this sunshine. So remember, if you wouldn't walk on hot coals, you probably wouldn't want your pet to either. And our temperatures of the concrete can approach 120 degrees or so during the maximum heating of the day, especially darker concrete. So watch out for that. Futurecast shows a few scattered showers building in inland areas, but along the coastline first during the noontime hours, drifting inland, becoming more numerous as we head into the afternoon, and then kind of exploding on the other coast as the east coast and west coast breezes just kind of collide together and create that updraft that produce those bigger storms. They die out during the evening hours, never making it back to our coast, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow morning with a few coastal showers near the beaches during the morning hours and early afternoon, and then drifting all inland later in the day, leaving the coast pretty quiet. For boating, looks pretty good. We'll have a west wind kind of continuous throughout the day at about 10 knots. That'll bring you a light chop with 2-foot seas. That should be the same thing that we see again tomorrow. No doubt about that. Maybe the winds start to shift around on Sunday and become a little bit more easterly, and with that will come an increase in our rain chances, but today and tomorrow hold the chance at about 30% with a 90 for a daytime high. On Sunday, it will put the rain chance up to about 50% if we get that easterly wind flow. If we don't, we'll keep it at about 30% with the same direction of movement. But I think certainly by Monday we will establish that easterly wind. And with that comes more typical summertime rainfall chances for the next few days into the next work week. We'll see those showers build in inland areas and then drift back to the coastline in the evening, kind of our own natural air conditioners. Back to you.
So let's take a look outside, check out your first alert traffic. We do have one traffic note to tell you about in Manatee County right there. There's a US 41, there's an accident right as US 41 becomes First Street. There's an accident right there at 34th Avenue. That's part of your morning commute. You might want to give yourself a couple extra minutes or maybe navigate around that on 301. Some of those delays that we were seeing are starting to slow down the farther south you go, but those bridges are already starting to get busy right there as you come over the bridge into Bradenton. In Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad. We did have one accident that was going on earlier at University Avenue and 75. There was an accident there that is still showing that it's still in the works, so that still may be happening as well. Not much other, just our normal morning slowdowns are going on in the area. Now, if you're headed toward Northport or Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, both 75 and 41 still running smooth out there this morning. It is 6:48, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, it is official. The recently canceled Roseanne show is getting a spinoff. Just a few weeks after canceling the show, ABC says it is bringing the show back without Roseanne Barr. The working title of the rebooted series is now going to be called The Conners. So far, John Goodman, Sarah Gilbert, and Laurie Metcalf have all been confirmed for the show's cast. Roseanne, of course, was canceled last month after Roseanne Barr tweeted racist remarks about Valerie Jarrett, a former employee of the Obama administration. The new show could premiere as early as the fall. And SpaceX with a big score, a massive new secret military contract, but not so secret we can't tell you about it right here on live television. The Air Force picked the company's Falcon Heavy rocket to launch its satellite in the year 2020. The contract worth about $130 million. Now, of course, the Falcon Heavy is the most powerful rocket in operation. You might remember it grabbed some headlines back in February. They sent Elon Musk's personal Tesla Roadster right into orbit.
Back here on land, the gorilla that mastered sign language and showed the world that what great apes can do has died. The Gorilla Foundation says that Coco died in her sleep. Coco was born at the San Francisco Zoo back in 1971. She had learned to sign more than 1,000 words and also learned how to paint. The Gorilla Foundation at Redwood City, California is now developing an app to showcase her amazing signing abilities and also other accomplishments as well. Coco was 46 years old. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, your top 7 before 7.
And that, of course, includes a final look at your weekend forecast, as well as one final look at traffic.
Peek outside our window shows a nice sky there developing as you're waking on this Friday morning, June 22nd. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. Yet an all-new redesigned 2018 Ram 1500 for as little as $21,499. Or save big and get up to $13,000 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
The summer sizzles at the Players Center with the opening of Crossing Delancey. City cultures collide in this charming play about a young woman searching for love and the New York dream. Opening June 14th, call 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Get your tickets to the perfect romantic comedy, Crossing Delancey.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Well, welcome back. It is 6:53, and here's your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's weekend forecast. John?
Yep, well, we're looking at a warm and humid day today. As you head out the door, you want to grab your glasses and download our First Alert weather app because there'll be scattered showers around. Nothing really widespread, but if you'll want to track them, you'll need the app. And it'll tell you exactly whether those showers are coming at you or not. Morning coastal showers followed by afternoon showers. It's 83 degrees already. And don't forget, we always post the forecast and update it on mysuncoast.com and on social media. Back to you.
Number 2, there is an accident report there in the middle of Manatee County at 1st Street at 34th Avenue. Be aware of that. Otherwise, mostly clear right now on the roads across the Suncoast.
And number 3, even though the White House has changed its stance on separating illegal immigrant families at the border this week, one local group still has plans to protest in Bradenton tonight.
Number 4, Orlando International Airport is the first in the country to use facial recognition technology to process all arriving and departing international travelers.
Number 5, the Tampa Bay Bucks will start the season without their quarterback. The NFL is planning to suspend Jameis Winston for the first 3 games of the season, all because of an alleged groping incident during an Uber ride back in 2016. Winston denies those allegations.
Number 6, today the Booker High School engineering team is traveling to Atlanta to compete in a national competition. Categories include animatronics, structural design, and transportation modeling. Students are also collaborating with local companies and organizations.
And finally, number 7, check this out. 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. You guys are looking at the most valuable car ever put up for auction. It's like the holy grail of collector cars. It's headed to the auction block. Only one of 36 ever built, first in its class. It's expected to go for more than $45 million at the Sotheby's auction in August. In 2014, a different one was bought at auction for $38 million. Super fast. Do you guys have a dream car? Have you ever, what's your dream car if you could win the lottery and own one?
That one works.
Yeah.
That one works? You want to go see? That would get you to work in like ones of seconds.
I'd like to have a Tesla.
A Tesla? I would like a white convertible Bentley like all my Real Housewives have.
I like the look of the BMW 7 Series myself.
All right.
What was your first car?
Oh, it was a Chevy Malibu.
What's yours?
What was yours?
It was a Pacer.
So was mine!
It wasn't really ugliest car in the world.
1976 Pacer.
You know, those are collector's items now.
We both
People are giving big money for those ugly cars.
We both had Pacers, John.
Oh, the worst. Oh, no.
See you
You
tonight.
could not get a date in the Pacers.
No, I know. I put curtains on the windows. We'll see you tonight at Friday Fest at the Van Wezel.
Come say hi. We'll see you there.